Welcome to BitBoy Crypto, the largest cryptocurrency channel in all the interwebs. My name is TJ, and I'll be your host for today's episode of Around the Blockchain. Every day at 5 p.m. Eastern Time, we come to you live with gathering your favorite people and personalities from all around the crypto sphere to talk about the trending topics of the day, as well as answer your most asked questions. We have some really good guests today. Yours truly, a fan favorite, back from last week, CryptoWendyO. We've got Rice from Rice TV and Kryptoschain all here to join us today to talk about some of the most commonly asked questions. And then, of course, none other than the one and only Ben Armstrong of BitBoy Crypto. Real quick, just give you guys a little bit of background on who these people are. If everybody could go around and kind of give you a quick 1-minute synopsis of kind of who you are, what your channel is about, and some of the stuff you like to share on your channel. We'll start with you, Wendy.
So I go by CryptoWendyO or WendyO. I do a little bit of everything, especially some marketing and consulting behind the scenes for blockchain companies globally. I also trade, which is, if you can believe it or not, I actually do trade. I am a woman. I do trade and I do invest in crypto. I'm on TikTok, YouTube, and crypto Twitter, of course. And my mission is really just to get the middle class and lower middle class excited about cryptocurrency, because that's the demographic I came from. Thank you guys for having me back.
Yeah, no problem. The Fibonacci master over there. And then Rice, tell a little bit about your background and what your channel is all about.
All right. Well, thank you again for the invitation. I appreciate you guys bringing me on. I am Rice. A lot of people know me from my channel as Rice Crypto, and I rebranded, restructured my channel. People can find me at Rice TVx. Obviously, I'm a content creator. I am a journalist and researcher and a freedom activist. Crypto is just one of the things I cover on my channel, but it's definitely something that I cover, and I encourage people to check it out. And looking forward to today's conversation.
Thanks. Appreciate you joining us. And then Kryptoschain.
Hey, thank you for having me. I'm Claudio, and I run the cryptocurrency YouTube channel called Kryptoschain with a K. I gotta say that because BitBoy always corrects me every time I recommend that. Now, I do cryptocurrency news, reviews, tutorials, and interviews, but my main focus as of the last 6 months or so, has been the Polkadot ecosystem, which I think is booming at the moment and will continue to be booming for the rest of this year. So if you are interested, do check me out. And I'm also an IT developer as a side job.
Awesome. Well, appreciate all you guys joining us today. We've got a really good roundup and some really good discussions. We saw Ethereum has had an insane run up over the past year. It's about 30x up from where it was this time a year ago. So we hit a new all-time high of 4,200 today. We did just take a dip here recently, so we're going to look into that. But the number one question we get asked more than any other question is, what's the next Ethereum? Some people feel like they may have missed the boat on Bitcoin a little bit. Now Ethereum's had this huge run up, and so some people that are newer to the space are saying like, hey, what's the next Ethereum, or where's this money gonna flow? We just saw a little bit of a pullback right now, so I'll start with you, Ben. I know we're the official Ethereum channel. Do you think Ethereum is here to stay, got a lot more room to run? Is that what's going to see the most pump over the next, say, 6 months of this bull market? Or do you think we're going to see some other lower projects start to get some attention and kind of make up ground on Ethereum the way Ethereum has on Bitcoin this last year?
Yeah, so I mean, we're obviously very bullish on Ethereum, and we don't believe Ethereum is close to the top. I mean, we believe that $27,000 is going to end up being the top for this cycle. But that doesn't mean that Ethereum is not going to have a correction. And that doesn't mean that in the short term, there can't be something that can outperform it. I do believe Ethereum is the ultimate winner in the smart contract game. I think Cardano is right there with it. I think Cardano is going to do phenomenal. However, I believe right now, the number one coin that I'm looking at to have a similar run, and I've been saying this for a few months, and it hasn't happened yet, and I'm going to steal some clout from Kryptoschain, but it's Polkadot. If you look at the market caps for the top 7 coins, I know we kind of glanced at this morning on the live stream. You know, you got Bitcoin coming in at 1 trillion. You got Ethereum at almost, 500 billion. You got Binance coin at 95 billion. And then you got several in the same range between, separated by only $11 billion with Dogecoin, USDT, Cardano, and XRP. Polkadot deserves to be in that upper echelon of coins, and it's not there right now. It's coming in at only $33 billion. So $15 billion behind kind of the bottom competitor in that next range. It's one of the biggest gaps, between coins right now in the top 20 percentage wise. So it's basically what is that, like about 2/3 of the XRP market cap. And so I definitely believe that Polkadot has got a great opportunity to have a massive run up. And like I said, I've been saying this for a couple of months. And what you see with these coins that kind of cycle through in the upper echelon is that they're going to go through times where they get suppressed. And I think that's what we're seeing with Polkadot, and it may be due to a lot of stuff going on with their ecosystem, new coins. But if you're looking for a coin right now to have a massive run up, you know, I definitely think Polkadot is one to look at. It hit its all-time high back on, let's see, April, it looks like about April 17th, somewhere around there. So it's been a while. It's been almost a month, and it's been down. It just had a massive dip just now, and I think it's definitely going to reach new all-time highs probably by the end of this month. So that's what I'm looking at.
Yeah, those are great points. And real quick, I forgot to mention the scoring system, but I can see some people that have been here before dropping it in the chat. You'll see those boxes on the right-hand side. That's everybody's score. If you like what you're hearing from any of the guests, drop a +1 in the chat and make sure to smash the like so we know to bring them back for next time. But whoever has the top score at the end of this 30-minute episode will get about 30 seconds to leave a parting thought with the audience. So,
well, guys, right now I'm winning 1-0. So if we could go ahead and close the showdown, that would be great. Thanks for the 1 point, fellas.
Yeah, you got a little bit.
Thought I made some great points.
Well, you did. I just forgot to tell the chat to drop the +1, so only the people that have been here before remembered. So we'll take it to the next guest to kind of follow up on that dot stuff. Kryptoschain, I know you're a big fan of Polkadot and maybe a lot of the potential they've got. We're seeing their ecosystem starting to blossom with new projects getting launched on there. Do you think that's one of the best ones where this money's going to flow in the next 6 months, or do you have your eye on some other things?
No, absolutely. I think Polkadot is the one, and I think one of the important things that we must keep in mind is the Polkadot Decoded event, which is going to be a huge event starting on the 19th of May, and that's when Polkadot is actually going to come into the spotlight. And aside from that, I think it's just the projects building on Polkadot which make up the ecosystem that make it important, and all these parachains that are going to come up. So we're going to have ones like Polkadex, which are going to be like Polkastarter. They're going to be holding IDOs on Substrate, so that's a huge one. And there's going to be the bridges, which are going to be also parachains. So we're going to have ChainX, which was spoken about on Ben's channel before. Also Darwinia Network, which is another bridge to bring NFTs. So we're going to have all of these. Polka BTC, which is a common good parachain. So we're going to have, like, the whole ecosystem is going to grow significantly. Smart contracts, everything you could think of is going to be on Polkadot. And the fact that you don't actually lose your money by taking part in these token sales because you're locking them up for up to 2 years, that's a plus in my books.
So tell us a little bit about that event. I didn't know much about that. You said it's on May 19th?
Yes, that's right. Polkadot Decoded event. It's going to be held in Europe, and you can tune in live to see the event and all the different speakers. They're going to be speaking throughout 2 different days.
Very interesting.
So very good.
Okay, and then Rice, where do you see, as we're seeing a lot of people dropping, you know, a lot of those meme coins in the chat. We talked a little bit this morning about Shiba, a lot of people looking at this Shiba coin and all these crazy meme coins. What do you think has the next best chance to pump over the next 6 months?
Well, I mean, seeing that we're in a bull market, I really feel like everything is going to be pumping. But where is the money really going to be going to? And I really do feel like Polkadot, out of all the other platforms trying to compete that people know about, had the best chance. And I definitely see a lot of money flowing not only to Polkadot, but to Chainlink. Now, a project that I've been mentioning that kind of gets put under the radar that I really feel like has already solved the scaling issues when it comes to a decentralized internet platform that's also going to be using low Earth orbit satellites and ground mesh technology to actually create an off-world internet that is truly decentralized and uncensorable. And that's the Nexus project, Nexus.io. They are, to me, like what Polkadot has built, and it's a great platform. They've got VC funding so they can do the marketing. A company like Nexus doesn't have the VC funding, but I think a lot of the parachain ideas, a lot of the concepts that are coming out now moving forward have actually come from the building that Nexus have been doing. So I would really encourage people to check it out because it is a low cap coin and it is a competitor against everything that we're talking about that's competing against Ethereum. Now, obviously, we got a lot of upside with Ethereum, though. I mean, with where we're at in the markets and where we're at in this bull run point right now, I mean, there's a lot of upside. And like BitBoy said, I mean, we're nowhere even halfway to the point where we're going to get with these all-time high prices. So I would just really encourage people to make sure that you're doing your own research. If you're in this to make some quick money, then, obviously buy the rumor, sell the news, and be smart about what you're doing and make sure you're understanding technical analysis. But don't go in on the hype. Don't follow what everybody else is necessarily doing, because that's not always going to be the best route, as people have seen with Dogecoin. You know, I went out this past Saturday night partying, and that's the one thing that people kept talking to me about was Dogecoin. And I don't think they realized that it really dumped like 30% while we were having this conversation, and people were just bragging about everything. And you know, they even look at crypto as being a share. So we got a lot of educating to do.
Yeah, no, great points. And that actually somewhat leads us to the next question here. I don't know if you guys were watching, but right before we went live, we had a massive dip where we've got a lot of top projects that have double-digit corrections right now. And we're getting a lot of this in the chat. A lot of people looking to place some money, trying to get involved in their first cryptocurrency. What are some of the ones you're eyeing off of this drop right now? We've got Polygon with a huge dip, Doge, Theta, VeChain, all kinds of big Digibyte, Avalanche, all kinds of huge coins with massive dips right now. So if you're looking down the list of coin market cap of all these things that just pulled back, what are some of the ones you're eyeing? We'll let Wendy start with that. And actually, I forgot, you gotta let us know what you think about Ethereum too.
Yeah, so really quickly with Ethereum, I love Ethereum. I think it's absolutely amazing, but I also like the competition in the market. I love to see Binance Smart Chain. I understand Binance Smart Chain is a little bit more centralized. That's totally fine. But at the end of the day, we can actually use Binance Smart Chain to send transactions, which is kind of like a currency for the people. That makes sense to me. Something that no one's really talking about, especially on YouTube, a project that I really, really like. I like the Solana ecosystem. We're starting to see a lot of people build on top of it. We're starting to see a lot of really, really great things come out of it. Never bet against Sam coins ever. They tend to do incredibly well. So Polkadot, I love it. I agree with you guys on it. I'm not as tech savvy as you guys, but Polkadot is actually the only cryptocurrency I dollar cost average into weekly every Wednesday at midnight, because I have no issue accumulating, even if it's at all-time high at the moment. But I definitely would not sleep on the Solana ecosystem. And I'm taking a look at CoinGecko right now. Solana is currently at number 17 and priced at about $42. And I would also pay attention to Serum as well.
Yeah.
Hey, Wendy, I want to point out one thing real quick. I don't usually like to jump in, but I was just going through CoinMarketCap myself here while we've been on the show. And did you guys know that they now have a Solana ecosystem tab where you can sort all the Solana projects?
Yeah.
That's cool.
I didn't know that, but I'm glad if I'm one of the things I want to kind of tell you guys. Also, CoinGecko has a tab for Matic Polygon projects or projects that are utilizing that technology. So when you see big platforms like CoinGecko and CoinMarketCap have specific tabs, like I want to say it was in the summertime when we saw CoinGecko create a DeFi tab, so you can go ahead and track like the top 200 DeFi projects. Anytime these large platforms integrate a tab for Matic or for Solana or whatever ecosystem, pay attention to that. You don't have to invest. You don't have to jump in right away. Make a mental note and track those and see how they perform.
Yeah, great points.
Great advice.
Yeah, I think I was waiting for somebody to say Solana. Ben knows that's one of my favorite projects, and I think that's going to be one of the ones that we see over the next few months, because as that ecosystem really takes off. So, all right, Ben, you're looking down CoinMarketCap. What are some of the top picks you're looking right now to scoop on a dip? Like if you had some money in your pocket, you know, what would you be going for right this minute?
How much money?
Well, what's that?
How much money?
Oh God.
Yeah. Well, yeah. That's a loaded question.
Well, I'm looking right now down the list, and I mean VeChain has gotten murdered today. I mean that's definitely one to be looking at. I still think Ethereum Classic, not based on any fundamentals at all, is going to pump. I think this is the next big one on Robinhood that they're going to be pumping. So that one's like very speculative. It's not based on value. It's not based on use. It's just based on looking at what the trend is. So VeChain and ETH Classic both down about 10% today. That's what I'm looking at as well. Kind of going down a little bit further down the list here, looking at some more that have been absolutely murdered. Zilliqa was actually starting to finally pick up steam and move back up in the top 50, and it's gotten crushed today. It's down about 12%. And then one of the ones that got hit the hardest today was one that we actually just completely got out of for our 1K to 10K challenge, which is Phantom. So now that it's down 13%, that move makes us look like geniuses. We moved from Phantom into Shiba today. So I'm so embarrassed by that. It's just for our 1K to 10K challenge. It's not, we don't put big money into it, but it's very speculative. But so far, that looks like that was paying off. So, you know, guys, the easiest way to make money in crypto is to just sort the 24-hour gain by the worst to the best and just start going down and see the coins. There are good coins that have gotten murdered more than other coins, and that's going to be a great way to make money. You know, you want to buy in the red, sell in the green.
Yeah, great point. Crypto's chain.
So wait,
go ahead.
Okay. So Ben, I'm looking at CoinGecko right now, and it looks like the biggest loser is Bitcoin Diamond at 99. It's ranked number 99, and it's down 19%.
Yeah,
I'm seeing
that's
Doge
good. I don't
as
ever
the
buy
biggest
Bitcoin
loser,
Forks though.
Yeah,
I wouldn't either.
So just to clarify, Ben, you're saying look down, find one that's murdered, that's a solid project, and scoop that, right? Not just...
So like if you go it, like right now, if you click on the 24-hour gains and you click it twice, it goes from, you know, red to green. You want to start with the red coins, and I mean right now, so Dogecoin is down 17%. I think Dogecoin is going to accumulate a while in between 40 and 50 cents. So I already have some preconceived notions about what I think that's going to do. So I'm not going to buy that one at this point. I've already got a small holding in it. I'm going to hold on to that. You got Bitcoin Diamond next, which once again, I don't buy Bitcoin Forks. I think most of them are, I mean, scam's a strong word, but they're coins I stay away from. So then you look and you say, Polygon, Phantom, Sushi. Like those are three really solid projects that are all down 12% or more. We know they've all been trending to the upside. You know, you look like a little bit further, you see Ontology. Ontology, it doesn't really excite me. But after that, Theta, right? Theta is a project that we really like, that we think is going to do really well. We're doing an NFT drop with them next month. It's down 11%. So those are some ones that you can just look at and you can skip over the ones that aren't exciting, that haven't been trending up, and just really look at the ones that are solid projects that are down a lot, that you like.
Yeah, great point. And then Kryptoschain, do you use a similar strategy, or what do you usually look at when you're looking down a list like that?
Yeah, no, I do exactly the same. And obviously, I'm a Polkadot ecosystem fan, so I would look at accumulating those type of tokens. Like PDEX, for example, is down quite a lot. It's trading at like just over $16 now. And it's finding support around that area as well. So that's what I'd be looking at. The next support line is around $13. So maybe that's another area which you could be looking at. But I think PDEX has like a huge potential, especially because they're going to speak at Polkadot Decoded, and you know they're going to go into the spotlight. Well, being on Ben's channel, it's already in the spotlight, right? But you know, Polkadot Decoded is the...
Yeah, no, that's an interesting strategy. So you mostly accumulate things that have to do with the Polkadot ecosystem because that's what you're a huge believer in. Is that right?
Exactly, and that's what I research really in depth as well. So I understand what they're doing and what's going on behind the scenes. I know a lot of the founders as well. I chat to them, ambassadors as well, so I've got a lot of information.
Very interesting. So Rice, what is it you're looking at on the list right now?
Well, Kryptoschain definitely made me remind myself that I need to look at the projects being built on Polkadot because, you know, looking at the things that are being offered, I know that there's a lot of potential, and I definitely am lacking on the research of that. But going down is pretty much a lot of what everyone said. I'm a big, huge fan of Matic, Polygon, especially when we're talking about the scaling issues and sidechain solutions. I think we're going to have a lot more throughput with the sidechain solutions right now than we are with ETH 2.0 and the full-on scaling that we're looking at. In addition to Matic, which I think right now is a really good deal. Theta is, you know, it was a project that I really wasn't very big on until I started really truly looking into the project and seeing what they were about, and being that the price is down where it's at. And VeChain. VeChain was another one that I've always thought was going to do well, especially with the addition of the Shapeshift DEX, which I thought was really cool. And then Divi is, you know, one that was mentioned last week by Crypto Crow. It's another very undervalued coin, I think, as well. And I think there's going to be a lot of upside to Divi if people had a realization of all the things that are going to be coming out on that. And then just the fact that they've just made their application, their mobile application public, and they're going to be having banking services, IBAN services being available through their service. So Divi would be another one that I would encourage people. And obviously, you know, Nexus is at a good price dip too. So I would encourage people to accumulate some Nexus.
All right, there you go. Well, kind of on this point of a dip and kind of Bitcoin dominance sliding and liquidity getting into other coins, we saw Bitcoin drop all the way from 85% dominance down to about 33% in the last bull run. And we were talking here in the office today as we go through the rest of this cycle. We saw, I think, Ethereum dominance hit as high as 17, 18% when we were looking at it this morning, and Bitcoin dominance still
19.6, I think it was.
19.6. Yeah, I knew it was close to 20. So yeah, it's pushing 20%. So do we see the Bitcoin dominance falling lower than 33%, or how low do you think it's going to go? And then do we see Ethereum continue to climb, or do you think it's going to flow into other altcoins? I'll start with you on that, Ben.
Well, I think just the fact that we're having the conversation about a flipping again, and it's a serious conversation, like that to me is mind-blowing, that we actually have to sit here and weigh out, like, can Ethereum pass Bitcoin this cycle? Like, I don't think it's going to, but the fact that we're even having the conversation is something we wouldn't have been having, back in, December. It has been so strong, and it is making much more progress against the coins behind it. That's why I said, like, I compared Ethereum and all of its problems it was having earlier this year to it's just like in the NFL when there's a football team that's doing really well and then they lose their quarterback. And that second place team, like, they've got so many games to gain ground against that team that's going to struggle with their backup end, right? That Ethereum had to be kicked while it was down. Cardano, Binance Coin, Polkadot, they had to absolutely pound it while it was down to make as much progress as they could, so that way when Ethereum got back strong that they could compete with it, and they didn't kick it enough. So Ethereum's problems are starting to get solved. We know the London hard fork is coming in, and that Ethereum dominance, is rising, and I don't know what it can get up to. I know that I thought that 8%, let's see, what exactly is, let me take a look here at this real quick. For me, I thought the high of the Ethereum versus Bitcoin, level would be 8%. Right now, it's coming in at 7.1%, which is unreal. I didn't think we would get close to this at this time frame. I thought we would see an 8% top at the peak of the market. Now, I'm not saying it's going to get over 8% right now, but the fact that it's gotten this high at this stage of the cycle, it's now leading me to believe that it could get up to 10 to 12%. And if it's a 10 to 12% value of one Ethereum versus one Bitcoin, I mean, we seriously could be looking at a $35,000, $40,000 Ethereum by the end of the cycle. So I'm not going to move off my prediction of 27K. I think I'm going to stay there, but it is certainly entertaining, making me entertain possibly higher numbers.
And then how low do you think the Bitcoin dominance will go?
We talked about it a little bit last week. I personally think 25%. If it went down to 33% in the last cycle, we've got so many more fierce competitors and more market to choose from. There's a lot of good projects. I think I could definitely see it going down to 25%. I'll be shocked if it gets under 20%, but 25 to 30% is what I think a good reasonable estimate would be.
And so if we're talking about a flipping, you could, and then in theory, potentially see like a 25% Bitcoin dominance, and then maybe Ethereum pushing that same level of dominance.
Yeah, that would be nuts.
That would be crazy. Wendy, what do you think about that scenario?
It's wild. When we're talking about like the masses and like the average person investing, a lot of people don't want to invest in Bitcoin at all. Like on TikTok, I don't like none of my audience, they're not really interested in Bitcoin, and that's okay. You don't have to be super interested in Bitcoin. You can, obviously you can buy a portion of a Bitcoin, but realistically, people are looking for things that they can afford. And when we're talking about things that they can afford, they want some of the lower price coins like VED or Matic or whatnot, which is great. I don't necessarily think that Ethereum is going to flip a Bitcoin's market cap, because we do have some diehard maxis, and that's okay too. But it is going to be interesting to see what happens with the market and where the money is being flowed into. A lot of people like to assume everybody dumped their profits for Dogecoin and it's going to enter and flow into arts. I'm seeing all these people on crypto Twitter saying that, and I'm like, you guys have no idea what you're talking about. That's not what's going to happen. Most people that are holding Dogecoin are just holding on to it for aesthetic. So I don't think that's necessarily where the money's going to come from. I think it's going to be from other people that want to that have already invested in Dogecoin, kind of know how to use Pancake Swap a little bit, and they want to diversify into other projects. projects. So I don't really have a set answer at this point. I'm just kind of learning and observing as to what is going on, because right now we're really at a place where we don't know what's going to happen. We can assume that everybody is going to see Bitcoin as the queen that she is and invest in it, and dominance is going to increase, market cap is going to increase. But realistically, not everybody feels that way. And people that are brand new to crypto, they don't see Bitcoin as an obtainable asset because they feel that they might not ever be able to own one Bitcoin.
Yeah, no, that's a great point. It is amazing how many people tell me every day they feel like they missed the boat on Bitcoin. And like I said at the top, people are starting to feel that same way about Ethereum. Like, I missed that big run up. I'm not going to get those returns. So people are starting to look, like you said, at those what they perceive to be cheaper coins that they can hold more of like Matic and VeChain. So Kryptoschain, what do you think?
Yeah, I was just going to talk about Dogecoin actually. Elon Musk has announced that SpaceX is going to accept Dogecoin as cryptocurrency as a payment method. So I think that starting from just trolling on Twitter, he's taking this really seriously, and he did say that he's holding a bag as well, right? I don't know if he was joking. I think he is. And I think that with support from Elon Musk, I do think that Dogecoin has more potential to the upside for sure. Just like Ben was saying, it's in the accumulation area, and we're likely going to see companies out there accepting Doge as a payment method. I don't hold any Doge, by the way, and I regret not getting into Doge, of course, because at the end of the day, you'd have made great profits. But
Sure.
It is what it is. I think Dogecoin is going to do well. And now I can see that in Ben's live chat, everyone's shilling Shiba. It's like Shiba to the moon. They probably think it's like the smaller version of Doge, and maybe Elon Musk is going to tweet about it. And if he does, then yeah.
Yeah, no, that's pretty much the way they're treating it. They're saying all day they've been telling us Shiba is the next Doge. So that kind of brings
Doge
us
killer.
Yeah, to one of our last questions. Let me ask you this, Kryptoschain. Do you think Doge will still hit $1 then this cycle? You're saying yes then, I guess.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
And how high do you think it's going to go? Do you think it'll go much over that?
I think around 150, give or take, just because of Elon Musk.
Yeah. I mean, if we're all learning, anything's possible with the internet. So, Rice, what did you think about Doge? What's your take on that? I know you're kind of the freedom activist, and anything that can connect people and community, you're kind of interested in getting behind. What are your thoughts on Doge? You think it's good? You think it's going to hit $1? What's your take?
Let me come back to Doge real quick. I just want to touch on the last thing that we talked about. I don't see Bitcoin going down below 30% in dominance. If you look at what the legacy systems are doing and all the VC companies and your micro strategies and your Teslas, they are investing in Ethereum, but the money's going into Bitcoin. So regardless of if the masses feel like they can get involved in it, it still has a lot of upside. So I really wouldn't be trying to downplay what Bitcoin is still possibly going to do. Because I really still feel like there's a lot of upside. Plus, Ethereum has a lot to prove in itself. There's a lot of improvements that need to come along when it goes to that. Now, Dogecoin, what I found interesting, and I changed my mindset a little bit talking to Crypto Blood. It is an inflationary cryptocurrency, so it's actually probably one of the better cryptocurrencies for us to use for everyday payments. So I could see, that being a case. I would much rather spend Doge on coffee than Bitcoin or Ethereum. And being the fact that it's inflationary, you're going to have a lot more Doge coming out. That's the one thing that most people who are getting involved in this space or investing in Doge don't realize, the inflationary aspects of what Doge is. It's kind of the opposite of Bitcoin with the deflationary aspect. But I do see a lot of upside with Doge because of the power of people. And that's the beautiful thing too about everything that's going on this year, is it's flipping the script when it comes to the legacy system. People have no clue what's going to hit, what's not going to hit, and how the people are going to react, and the other best part is it's showing the corruption in the legacy system. It's showing how screwed up the whole thing is, how it's all based off derivatives. And as CB said last week, Crypto Blood, make sure people are paying attention to the economic climate of the world, because if everything else goes down the tube, everything goes down with it. Look at March of 2020 and see what happened then.
Yeah, great points. I mean, that's something that kind of gets lost on us a lot of times. Like, the discussion of money, what money is much more prevalent today than it was even a year ago, just because what we've seen with the pandemic and all the different airdrops of government money that's coming in. And then, like you said, we've got people like Elon Musk tweeting about Doge, and everybody talking about Doge and an inflationary currency versus a deflationary currency. And all of these conversations weren't happening before. So it's definitely a paradigm shift, I would say, with, like you said, the little man kind of waking up and looking at the system and saying, like, does this work the way I think it works, and does this actually make sense to me? So I think that's pretty much all of our questions for today. Unless anybody else had anything else they wanted to jump in, we're pretty much done on time. It looks like, Rice, you've got our type score if you want to leave us with a parting thought or a parting message for the audience.
Yeah, what I would actually just like really want to encourage people to do is just look at everything that's going on around the world today. Figure out why you wanted to get involved in crypto. Because I come from the libertarian crypto cypherpunk mentality of be your own bank. I'm not a big fan of working with the legacy systems. That's just not where I'm at. That's not where my head's at. So I'd really encourage people to just take the time, figure out why you got involved in crypto, and look at the creative destruction that cryptocurrencies and blockchain technologies can bring. Because when enough people take a stand, nothing can stand against the people. And cryptocurrencies and blockchain technology give us that opportunity to be able to make those changes in this world.
Perfect. Thanks for sharing that. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for
Well
everybody. Yeah, that was very well said. And we really appreciate having you guys all on. We'd love to have you back in the future. Guys, the links in the descriptions to all of these channels are in the chat below. Please be sure to go in and check it out. They all have great content. You can learn a lot from these people. They've been in the space a long time and can give you a lot of perspective. So as always, we'll be back tomorrow at 5 p.m. Eastern time to talk with some new guests and talk about your most asked questions. Until next time, I'm out.
Thank you.